I love a really good tournament. Sports fan, I'm in for it. So not a huge college basketball fan, I will admit that, but I always get into the March Madness bracket. Like I make like 50 of them every year trying to chase that, like, what is it, $1 million prize. So I figured, you know, if I'm gonna make brackets, I should make brackets about things that I know about. So here's what I did. I didn't want to do 64 because it might take us all day, but I did get to 32, and we're gonna do 32 builders here in DFW on the board bracket challenge, and we're gonna get to one winner. Here's the thing, I put in my list, so I know who's on the list. I didn't pick who they were seeding against on the first round. So we fully randomized that. We've got 32 builders, and I've kind of looked at the list, and there's gonna be some there's gonna be some easy choices, clear winners on the first round, but then there's gonna be some hard ones on the first round that are gonna get eliminated, and it's gonna kind of suck, I'm gonna be honest. So I'm gonna show you the board. We're gonna talk about these builders, pros, cons of each one. If you're considering building in DFW, I wanna give you, we're gonna have some fun. If we haven't met before, my name is Zach. My team and I, we sell new construction real estate here in DFW. That's what we focus on doing. We do it through fun ways like this, giving you guys information, and of course, helping buy and build homes, all that good stuff. Contact information, we'll throw it on the, we'll throw it right there. Call us, text us if you need us. And then, so I wanted to get into this and I wanted to have a good time. So I don't own a like basketball jersey because, like I said, I'm not a basketball fan. So, but I do have a hockey jersey, and so I'm gonna throw my jersey on, and then we're gonna start up at the top on this thing. We're ready to party. Got to pull the sleeves up so I can work with my hands, and then I guess I probably should get the microphone out from underneath and put it right here so y'all can actually hear what's going on. So we've got 16 first round matchups, pros, cons, both. Give you some winners, give you some clear losers, and let's see if we can have some fun. All right, board here, you guys there, notes there. Let me move my little notepad here so I can get my notes. Round one, game one, top of the board. We're coming out super strong. Again, randomized them because if I would have picked some of these matchups, I probably wouldn't have put these as round one matchups, but you know, that's the way it goes when we do tournaments. So round one, we're gonna get Highland Homes versus Castle Rock. And I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time here because let's be honest, if you watch any of my other videos, you probably know who the clear winner is gonna be right off the bat, but we're gonna talk about it. So Castle Rock, here's the thing, couple pros, couple cons, both of them. Right now, looking at their website, fixed rate mortgages at 5.25%. We love it when they're advertising those things. So decent features, energy efficient homes, affordable in the new build, a little bit limited on their customization options, and to be honest, kind of inconsistent on their customer service. So they're on one side of that bracket. We've got Highland on the other side. I don't have to tell you a lot about this. Y'all already know, this is gonna be the clear winner here. Top-notch customer service, local here to Texas, been building for 40 years, specifically here in the DFW market. Can't get enough of their stuff. So I would always say if you can find it, like this is gonna be easy round one. Cause sometimes, you know, you get those games that are like, I don't even know, like it was unfair. And that one, Highland Homes, unfair, move them on, here we go. All right, second game on the board. We've got Ashton Woods and we've got MI. This is a little bit hard for me. So Ashton's gonna give you those modern designs. It's a good, I feel like it's a good mix of affordability, customization, but I think the quality is lacking a little bit. If we're honest, let's just pull them up on the board. My challenge with them while I'm pulling them up is they own another company called Starlight Homes. And Starlight is more of their entry-level base point. And so what I feel like what's happening with Ashton is the stuff they're putting in their Starlight Homes is kind of carrying upwards into their Ashton Woods homes. So like, for example, they're doing like drop-in shower, like not full tile, but like just the shower enclosures. And so customer service is kind of lacking for a little bit for them. So kind of a hard one versus, let's just see what, I type in Ashton Woods and then you see all the crazy stuff going on. Ashton Woods, not a bad deal, up to $150,000 in savings. That's not bad. $90,000 in price reductions, 3.99 fixed rate, closing costs up to $5,000. Solid choice there. I'm lacking a little bit on their customer service side versus on the other side we have, let's see, MI Homes. You have to, I do like their warranty. I think they have a good solid warranty program and a really affordable home, decent features. Same kind of deal, customer service, a little bit lacking, and limited customization options. But, so for example, if we just look at, we're gonna hit the little blocky button, blocky, find a home, and I don't wanna look in all of the United States. I wanna just look in Dallas. Here, yeah, I'll give you my location. Everybody else has it, it's fine. While that's loading, there's gonna be some of these that you're gonna be like, Zach, you left somebody out. Zach, you didn't include somebody. I know, there's only so many builders we can talk about in a given video. So we got 21 here in Dallas, Fort Worth Metro. Come on. See, you're already losing because Goodland. Okay, check the Mesquite. We've got Crowley, Denton. Actually, let's do this. Let's actually go look at this one. I don't want to do Mesquite because I moved out of Mesquite. They're in Elevon. One of those communities that we talk about a lot. It's growing, the Levon, so kind of northeast part of the Metroplex, good area to take a look at. So let's just see what they've got on their quick move inside. So we've got a 3-bed, 3-bath, 1,760 square feet at $324. And look at, can I circle that? Was it $390? So Ashton Woods versus MI. This is kind of one of those ones. You could go either way. If they were truly playing each other, it would probably be a toss-up. I'm going to give it to, I'm going to erase all my little marky marks. I'm going to give the win on this one. The win goes to a, not AW. The win goes to MI. All right, coming down the bracket, we got to pick up some speed. Bloomfield versus Graham Hart. So Bloomfield is another one of those local Texas builders. Great customer service, great value, great incentives. They have they do processes a little bit unique. It's kind of a fun way to negotiate with them. They won't always advertise what their incentives are, and sometimes they vary from home to home. They have also hold their value really, really well in terms of the resale quality. I will say on the detractors for them, less customization options than what you might find with another builder. Versus, so this is kind of like so the hard part about doing these randomly is you get kind of some unfair play. So I'm trying to level the playing field as much as I can. Graham Hart, Homes, because see, the problem is Graham Hart is a little bit more of one of those boutique style builders. So you're going to have more customization options, more incentive, not more incentive, but more things that you can do, but it's also going to be a little bit higher of a price point. So Bloomfield does really well setting the stage for, 300 to 700. Graham Hart, like, let's just see the cheapest option. I will say, like, if you have the budget for Graham Hart, I would definitely consider looking at them. The challenge to them is they're at that higher price point, one, and two, they're just not in a lot of places, right? So like if we're looking, they kind of cover this like northwestern part of the Metroplex. They don't really have they don't have anything east, and they have nothing east of I-35. So like if you're wanting that, it's not gonna be there. So like, let's just see price range. Do they have 300 to 400? What do we have? Eagle Mountain Lake, Talon Hills. Okay, I stand corrected. They're not going to have nearly as many options in that space. Their sweet spot is this higher end kind of style home. So, oh, it's so hard. I gotta tell you, I didn't pre-pick how I was gonna answer these. Like, I knew there's some builders that I'm like, oh yeah, they're gonna probably do well. But I didn't give it too much attention on. It's hard. That's hard. This is one of those matchups for me that I'm like, I just wish, I could have set it up to be different, but then I would feel like I was cheating. So I have to give the win based on availability, number of communities they're in, price point. The win goes to Bloomfield. That's not a knock on Graham Hart. That's just the win goes to Bloomfield. So we got to keep moving. I got 16 matches to get through on this first one. Riverside versus Coventry. So if we would have talked about Coventry like 3 or 4 years ago before they got sold to Dream whatever out of Florida, probably a different conversation. Still a really solid quality home. But it's a little bit higher of a price point. The interior structures are usually really, really good, but I feel like their customization options have kind of gone So they used to be one of those ones that they could do a lot of different options in a lot of different ways. And now they have longer build times, and they've gotten a little bit more, corporate maybe is the right word, maybe commercial is the right word. I don't know. So that's kind of one of those. So luxury styling-ish, but basic if we kind of know. So Riverside, on the other hand, is more of in those rural style communities. That was a hard word for Zach. Zach just said rural and didn't mess it up. I feel like, no, I'm typing rural. No, Riverside, goodness, got to get my brain moving. Homes. So not hose, good Lord. Riverside Homes. Thank you. Okay, you're here for the show. Riverside builds in those communities that they're going to have a little bit larger lots. So like if you're looking for something half acre, acre or more, they're going to have that in the decently priced areas. So, and they're popping up in a lot of different areas. So larger home sites, rural, build quality, a little questionable. They do spray foam. So I know a lot of people like that's a big deal. Jury's out for me on that. Some people love it. Some people hate it. 50-50 either way. So they do that. So we've got Riverside. Let's just see, so like lot size. So acre plus, like if we wanted to look at some Riverside stuff, we could look in Oak Ridge, we could look in Alvarado, at acre plus, Weatherford, Valley View, Alvarado. Let's see. Okay, and then show me half acre, because there's a community that I saw the other day that I'm trying to figure out where it is. Is it not all the way to Sherman? Was it Van Alstyne? Yeah, it was this. Okay, so 829, not too bad. For acreage, that's really not bad. So Riverside, Coventry, I think we're just gonna call it, we're gonna call this one quickly, and we're gonna call that one, we're gonna give the edge to Riverside. Next on the list, you have Pacesetter and you have Lennar, and this one's only going to take me 15 seconds because Pacesetter is going to wipe the floor with Lennar. Yes, Lennar has thousands of communities literally everywhere. Yes, they're one of the biggest builders in the United States. Yes, they have straightforward pricing, but also is a piece of, I can't say this because it's a family show. Pacesetter, if you've been around my channel, you know, we built with them 4 years ago. I love their stylings. They have some really cool models. They are expanding their reach here in DFW, especially on the east side. They're jumping into the north. I don't even have to talk about that. So Pacesetter takes the dub on that one. Ooh, next one, here we go. Partners in Building versus Windsor Home. So Partners in Building. So this is actually a fair matchup, I think. Partners in Building and Windsor are both going to be kind of semi-custom, which means they're going to take their floor plans, allow you to make changes, move walls, add things here and there. Both of them are going to do really well. So more customization, more options. Windsor's going to have a little bit more. I think they're doing a little bit more stuff on like land space. Let's just take a look and see, right? Like we can talk about it, but I can also show you. So what was it? Partners in Building, right? Partners in Building. Both of these are going to be a little bit of a higher price. Both of them tend to hold their value well in terms of resale. And both of them are going to be, again, more on the expensive side. I will say Partners in Building tends to have a little longer build time, but I think it's due to some of those customization options. So in DFW, you can find Partners in Building. Also, Partners in Building, a pro for them is they will build on your own lot. So if you're like, hey, we already have the land, we know what we want to do, it's we want somebody to come in, good option for you to take a look at there. So if we're looking out here, east, let's just say view area. What do we got? Zach can learn to read. It's a big deal. Discovery Lake. So this is, so again, higher price point. So these are, you're kind of looking at that and you're like, Zach, 3/4 of an acre to an acre from $1 million. That's kind of the world that they live in. So definitely one of those higher end price points. Same thing with Windsor. They're going to be in that $600, $700, $800 price point. This is a toss up for me. So I'm going to do this because this one truly I think is a toss up. So we're going to let Siri decide. So heads is Partners in Building, tails is Windsor. That's how we have to do this on this particular one because I think it's so close. Flip a coin. Heads. What did I say? Heads. Partners in Building. Perfect. We're moving on. We got to get through oh no, click the right one, please. There we go. Ooh, KHOV versus Megatel. So KHOV, another national builder. Here's what I like about them. They do some really great modern designs. They've also switched their design to where it's more package style. So if you're looking for straightforward pricing, but you still want to get tons of upgrades and you still want to get a good like value for what your money is, KHOV picks up the win in that space for me. I love the way their floor plan's laid out. It's decently affordable. They've got stuff starting in the 300s, moving 600-700 up here in DFW. One of the things I wish they did, they don't do windowsills. That's kind of a knock on them. That's like missing like a layup, right? Like we got to do windowsills. Megatel, I used to be like, oh my gosh, we would love to do Megatel. And then I think some shady things happened with them. And it's like, I don't really know what else going on. I don't know all the details, but I've just heard rumors. They're doing a couple of those like lagoon communities around DFW. I haven't seen enough good stuff talked about those to say, yes, let's do that. I think there's going to have some problems. And like they're putting a lagoon in Sigaville. Like Sigaville, of all places, like Sigaville, Princeton, and like a lagoon, like it doesn't make any sense. And then it's like, it's going to be a massively expensive HOA. On this one, we're blazing through. We're going to give it to KHOV for the straightforward pricing and the modern farmhouse design. What do we got? Ooh, Stone Hollow versus Beazer. So Beazer, another national company. They're going to build in several different states. So it's going to be more like what you see is what you get kind of thing. They do have design options. I will say I feel like their design options are a little bit limited in what they do, and sometimes negotiating with them can be a little interesting. I mean, it's not bad. Don't get me wrong, not bad. But I will say decent warranty support and good affordability with simple, straightforward upgrades. So if you like that, that's a plus on their side. I just like, again, big production style builder versus who was the other side? Stone Hollow. Stone Hollow is an offshoot and an offshoot of Bloomfield Homes. So they were part of them. So if you understand the Bloomfield quality, they went off that way. Stone Hollow started their own thing. My biggest detractor for them is they are not as well known and they don't have a big presence in a lot of places. I think they're growing and expanding. They do have in-house design. So what you see in their design centers is what you can get. They're updating their selections, which I think is really great. Where I think they excel is in their larger acre style communities. They've got one in Nevada, they've got one in Van Alstyne. That product I think is the winner for them. So if you're looking at those places, that's where I would go. So just based on personal preference I like larger home sites and a little bit more local on the builders, the win goes to Stone Hollow. Now, I can pick on everybody all day long, right? These are just opinions, and just because somebody loses doesn't mean that they're bad. Well, yeah, that one, they're bad. That's fine. But just because somebody else loses doesn't mean they're bad. Next up, we've got David Weekley and History Maker. So here's what I will say on the History Maker side. These are going to be some of the biggest square footage spaces for your buck. So like if you're looking for that like 3,000, 3,500 square feet and you're trying to keep it, you know, under probably 500, really one of your only options is going to be History Maker. They expand some of their spaces, like in terms of money for space, they do really well. But where the trade-off comes is you get space, but you lose out on the finish out. So kind of basic design and finish out, but more space. Just, you know, take your pick one way or the other. A lot of their communities, they've done a couple of like full like hardy board siding wraps. I think they look cool. I don't know how to like, I would personally rather have brick, but that's on me. Decent warranty support. I will say really, really solid choice for some of our first time home buyers. But again, trade-off is basic finishes. So take that for what it's worth. David Weekley, energy efficient, local to Texas. I will say top tier in the customer service. They own their own design center. They are not custom, they are production, but they can do some unique changes. I do like the way their floor plans lay out. I like the way they value their customer service. I feel like the value is there, and for that, we will give them the win. Scrolling down. Altura versus Perry. Altura is another one of those ones that came from Bloomfield. So if you know the Bloomfield quality, you know the Altura quality. Very similar. They're going to do the hand-scraped hardwoods in a lot of their homes, and I love that. But I feel like outside of those hand-scraped hardwoods, design can be a little bit basic, but they do have tons of customization options. So you kind of just take your pick, give and flow. But also on their incentives, they're usually not super straightforward with like, hey, we're doing this blanket thing across the board. They kind of do it individually on property one way or the other. So Altura, solid option. Man, we got hard matchups. It's hard. On, you know, so there was always going to be, there's always upsets, right? Like it always happens, you know, the 1 seed, you know, whatever, it happens. Perry, on the other hand, another big time favorite of mine. I love their design. I love their warranty. So they do a 2-2-10 warranty instead of a 1-2-10 warranty, which is not many builders do. They also service their own warranties. It is going to get a little bit pricey. And when you're looking at doing design finish out upgrades, they're a little more expensive than some other builders, but the standard features in a lot of their communities, I think, are great. So, and they hold their value. They're clear and like, hey, this is clearly a Perry home. They resell it really well. They don't do lots of customization on their plans, but their plans are kind of designed super well. I will say their catalog is kind of confusing because the plan is the square footage. So they have, there's like, oh, we have a 2917 and then we have a 2924. And it's like, they're very similar. And so it can kind of get confusing working through that. But Perry on that one, for me, they pick up the win right there. Ooh, Horton and Trophy. Okay, another random seating that just happened to work out really, really well. 2 big time production builders that are going to put a lot of homes on the ground. D.R. Horton, going to be probably the biggest home builder in North America. Based here in Texas, they have a massive, massive land position, and they build a lot of homes. And I bought 2 of them. Yeah, I bought 2 of them. Pricing is going to be straightforward. Like there's not a lot of room to negotiate. Like it is what it is. Like they have streamlined their process to a T. But part of that streamlined process means that it's a little bit lacking in their customer service. They used to have a wide range, you know, Emerald, Traditions, Express, all of those things. They've kind of condensed it down and gone like more like just like Horton and like Horton Express. And similar to what we were talking about earlier with AW and Starlight, some of what's happening in the Horton Express is kind of pushing upward into the regular Horton product. Not a big fan of theirs, just to be honest. I think there's better quality out there. However, if this would have seeded, like, people ask me, like, Zach, should I buy Horton or should I buy Lennar? No, it didn't seed that way, but if it would have, and I had to pick, I would not pick Lennar. I would pick Horton over Lennar. But I've got Horton versus Trophy. So Trophy has kind of come on the scene here recently and made a big, massive explosion and took on a lot of land, and they're moving homes very, very quickly. Both of these builders do not sell like at dirt stages, so they wait till the home gets to the frame stage so they can sell and move you into those homes quickly. So they are like a churn and burn, right? Trophy's got a little bit more of a modern design, great energy efficiency. So again, no customization. Like it is what it is. Like you pick the floor plan and you pick the lot and they're like, okay, we just wait for it to be done. But that means they have straightforward pricing in terms of what they can do on incentives. So like, let's just go look at theirs right now, just for Trophy Homes. Okay, Trophy Signature Homes. We're going to look at it. So 4.99 fixed rate plus $5,000 toward closing costs, and they are constantly advertising that. So this is one of those ones for me, like if you're a first-time home buyer and you have a limited budget, Trophy is probably where I would look. If you can't find a Perry, a Weekly, or a Highland or a Pacesetter in your budget, Trophy takes that win right there. Trophy Signature. Okay. Couple left on the first round. You've hung in for this long. Appreciate it, guys. All right, Chesmar versus First Texas. I'm going to just give you this one. This one is, for me, this one is Chesmar. Customer service, top notch. Value for the money, top notch. Build quality, great. First Texas has some really good home plans. They're a little dated. They need to be updated. I think they're updating their catalog. Customer service, Chesmar takes the win. No question on that one. Next one, Shattuck versus Grand. People love the look of a Grand model home because it is exactly that. It is grand. But what you need to ask if you're looking at Grand, and you say, hey, show me the model home and then show me an inventory home of the exact same floor plan. And then ask how much money did they spend on that model home in upgrades, because Grand is almost a custom builder and they can do almost anything you want, but everything is an upgrade. And most of their models probably have somewhere north between $150,000 to $200,000 in upgrades. And I think what's in the internals of the walls is lacking. Shattuck is a little bit of a higher end, good quality, good customer service. They're gonna pick up that win for me. Ooh, this is, okay, Syntex, Mattamy, Canadians. They're relatively new here in DFW. I do think they have good quality. Syntex is a little bit larger of a builder. They are part of the Pulte group, but I think I would go give the win on this one. We're gonna give it to, no, wait, can I fix that? I clicked the wrong button. Reopen the match, yes. I'm gonna give that win personally to Mattamy. I think they're gonna continue to expand. Pulte versus Dries, again, just said that, so Syntex is part of the Pulte group, massive home builder. They're gonna do a lot of homes. They're gonna do a lot of production. The handful of Pulte homes that we've sold, we've had great experiences. We've had minimal issues. Customer service has been great. Builder's been super responsive. I do think they're a little lacking in their customization options. So like if you're buying from their inventory, you're probably gonna find a good deal. But if you're trying to do a build with them, picking out your selections, I feel like in walking through their selection center, was a little lacking versus Dries. Dries is solid, a little bit higher of a price point. So Pulte is going to be on the little bit more affordable side. Dries, probably the only place you're going to find a Dries at about 500 is Hillstead in Levon, and they're testing some things out in there. We did a video on that neighborhood. You can go check it out. But Dries is solid quality, almost custom. I'm going to give them that win right there. All right, last matchup of round one, and then we got to we'll see if we can blow through, because we're deep in this and you're here, but we're gonna keep going. Last matchup of round one, Tri-Point, Meritage. Whew, both production builders. Tri-Point does a little bit more in terms of like, well, both of them, let me say this, both of them have streamlined their process. Tri-Point will still sell you a build job. It's just gonna be a streamlined package like, hey, select this, move on, go, blow and go. Meritage, make sure I said it right, has said, hey, they're doing similar to what Trophy's doing, and they are churning out inventory left and right. So it's a little bit more cookie cutter, a little bit more straightforward, but if you're a first-time home buyer, they're great on energy efficiency. They usually have great incentives. You're gonna see them paired with Trophy. I would consider them on the first-time side. So we're gonna make it quick, and we're just gonna give Meritage the win right there. So we made it through round one. Round two sets up like this. You've got Dries versus Meritage, Shattuck versus Mattamy, Chessmark, Trophy, Perry and David Weekley. That's a hard one. Cahove and Stone Hollow, Partners in Building over Pacesetter, Bloomfield over Riverside, and Highland over MI. Let's reset. I'm gonna pull my notes back up for round two, and we will continue here in just a second. Okay, notes are reset. We're actually gonna start at the bottom, work our way back up, and go through round two. So I gave you kind of the overview of every builder for round one. I'm not gonna rehash all of that because I don't think we need to. If you have questions about specific builders, you can always reach out. We have contact information wherever it's on the video. We're here to help. So we're gonna go back down here to Dries versus Meritage. Dang it, that's hard. Okay, I'm gonna come back to that one because I don't know how I want to do that one. So we're gonna do Shattuck versus Mattamy, and I'm gonna give it to Shattuck because they are Texas local, Mattamy's Canadian. I don't have anything against Canadians. Love Canadians, you are awesome. But I like my Texas local builders. And so it's gonna go to Shattuck in terms of customization, design, options, all of that fun stuff. Let's go do an easy one, but none of these are stinking easy. Okay, we're gonna come back up here. I know we're gonna jump around. Bloomfield versus Riverside. So Bloomfield, more volume, Riverside, more land space. I think, again, both great, solid options. I'm gonna give this one, honestly, I'm gonna give this one to Bloomfield. Just again, for the volume of business that they do. They also give their salespeople a little bit more autonomy in how they negotiate deals. So you're not gonna see like a blanket, like, oh, hey, we can do this in every single community. Like they have a general idea, but their sales offices have a little bit more autonomy to be able to negotiate deals. So that means you might, just depends on the day, be able to find a better deal somewhere with a Bloomfield home. So we're gonna go there. We're gonna come back down and we're gonna do the Trophy versus Chessmark. Trophy, I would give them the points based on affordability, based on land value. But see, here's the problem. I can't get to like here with Trophy and Meritage. Like, I think those are both very, very similar. Both of those are very aggressive. So Trophy gets the points on volume and the number of deals they do. They also get the points on the incentives, and their deals are usually straightforward and you can probably close relatively quickly. So if you're wanting something that you can move on super fast, like you've got a home you've already sold or your lease is about to be up, or you need something in the next 30 to 45 days whenever you're like constantly rolling, Trophy wins there. Meritage gets the points based, or not Meritage, Chessmar gets the points based on customer service, based on quality, based on the affordability of like design upgrades. Their quality is great. And again, I do really like them. I sell a lot of both of those builders. Dang it. Oh, whose idea was this? This was my idea. What? Okay. So we're going to give it to, should we flip a coin again? I mean, we have to, right? Like at this point, Trophy and Chessmar. No, I'm going to save my coin flip. When I didn't tell you guys this, but when I started this, I told myself I have 3 coin flips for the whole thing, and I've already used one. I don't want to use it here, so I'm going to give it to. So for the same reason Bloomfield beat Riverside for volume. Like I said, it's my video. I can do it however I want. Chessmar is going to beat Trophy just based on customer service and value. Nothing wrong with Trophy, but I think Chessmar wins out on that one. Let's get something on this side of the bracket. So pace setters versus partners in building, 2 opposite ends of the spectrum. This is like a traditional offense versus like a West Coast offense, right? Like you've got a builder that does most of their stuff north of 700, 800, 900, and then you have another builder that is expanding and growing and doing things valuable from like 3 to like 700. Because I do more business in that like 300 to 700 price point, I do have $1 million clients, but because I do more business on that, what some would call more affordable side, the win there is going to go to pace setter. So we're going to put them on the board. K-Hoff, Stone Hollow. We have one in every category. We do. Okay, so Drees versus Meritage. Meritage, similar to like Trophy, Meritage would win in terms of production, right? Like if you're wanting something really quick, we would get with Meritage. I just did a Meritage deal recently, and guys, when I tell you, like, I'm just going to list it off for you. We had a 4.99 rate. We had $15,000 in closing costs from the builder. We had washer, dryer, and fridge, and we got like $9,000 off the price. So if you're looking for like affordability and deals, Meritage is the win. The challenge is they do these massive communities where it's usually them and Trophy, and so the worry is always like, hey, what's the long-term resale, right? Like, hey, how can we make this work from a long-term resale side? Drees, I think, holds their value really well. So if you have the budget, we're gonna make that. Yeah, we're gonna give that win to Drees. I wish I would have set this up differently. It's okay. We're gonna give it to them. And just on the standpoint of if you have a healthy budget, Drees is one of the best options you can look at. If you are looking to move quickly, Meritage takes that. So that would be like going to overtime on that game. Perry, David Weekley. Perry and David Weekley. You see them in a lot of places. So this is where it's hard. Like when you look at certain communities, like you're looking at terraces and you're like, oh, they're both there. I would just shop them against each other, find the floor plan that you think you like best and run with that. And you would not make a wrong decision, either choosing Perry or choosing David Weekley. For the sake of argument for today, it's going to be, for me, it's going to be Perry because of the wall of windows, the way their floor plans lay out. I think they have some beautiful design. That's not a knock against David Weekley. It's just that's where it's going to fall out. Okay. The K-Hoff versus Stone Hollow. Again, we talked about K-Hoff. They are a little bit more like massive nationwide production, super nice farmhouse style. Bloomfield, I think, wins on the customer service side, or Stone Hollow, see, said the same thing. Stone Hollow wins on the customer service side, so we're going to put them right there. They're going to move on. And of course, up here, if you know, you know. Highland, like they're like a 1 seed. Like I didn't intend for them to show up at the top, but they're a 1 seed for me. And so it's gonna, in my opinion, like they're gonna be a really hard out in this tournament. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're down to our final 4 matchups. We'll start right here. Perry versus Chesmar. Both based out of Houston, both do really good homes, and we're getting nitpicky, right? Like Perry, I think is more is known more, like you can easily pick them out in a neighborhood. Like you can see a home and you see these high peaks and high ridges, and it's like, okay, that's a Perry home. I think their notoriety wins them this round. Shattuck versus Drees. I think it goes to Drees, if I'm being honest. They've got a couple of really cool developments that they're doing. A Homestead and Rockwall. They've got Homestead. They've got some half-acre stuff in Sunnyvale. They're in Hillstead and Levon, and I think honestly Hillstead and Levon is what wins that for me, because they're doing like, I think it's 50 and 55 foot lots at about a mid 500 starting price point, and doing some package design. They're testing that, so that right there wins this one for me. Pacesetter versus Stone Hollow. So here's the internal struggle that I have right now. I'm just going to be honest and transparent with you, because that's why I feel like y'all love me. Bought a Pacesetter home 4 years ago. Have loved our home. Have sold tons of their homes since. We are currently buying a Stone Hollow home. We're building. So I have direct experience both as an agent and as a consumer on both of those. Splitting hairs at this point. I love that Stone Hollow is doing some of those acreage properties. That's a big win in my book, because I think there's people that are looking for that. Wish they would do more of it. Their detractor, if I'm picking it apart, for the price point that they're doing some of those acreage stuff, they need some more customization options. They have some, but they need some more things that I'm like as you know, we've walked clients through it, or we've talked about it, it's like, oh, you just got that close. That's their detractor. Pacesetter, solid quality. Again, they're expanding. They're doing a ton of different stuff. They have a unique product in that Courtyard series. Some people like love it. Some people like hate it. And I feel like their floor plans have done really, really well in Dallas. Detractor on their side, I don't like their warranty process. I just don't. But to be fair, I don't like most builders' warranty processes. It's less than ideal for most builders. And even the ones that it is ideal, it's like, ideal. So, for trying to see, we're going to give this one, you know what? I'd said I had 3 coin flips. This one for me is a coin flip option. Same thing. We're going to let Siri flip the coin, because I can't. I have 3, and so I'm going to use it on this one. Okay, so tails is Stone Hollow, heads is Pacesetter. So let's let our friend flip a coin, please. Heads. What did I say? I got to run it back. Tails is Stone Hollow, heads is Pacesetter. Was that right? I think I said Pacesetter. Okay. That was our coin flip. On the board. Put them in. We got it. We're moving. Highland versus Bloomfield. I was hoping we would wait till later for this matchup, because this one, both I think do a really great job with their customer service. Both I think do a good job with their value for their money. Both do solid build things. Bloomfield a little bit more on the traditional side. Highland a little bit more updated, modern. I am going to give that win right here. It's going to go to Highland. All right, we have our semifinal matchup. Highland versus Pacesetter, Perry versus Drees. This is hard. Dang it. Okay, coming down to the bottom. It's going to be Perry for me on that one, just because of the amount of homes they have available, the amount of communities they're going into. They have some 40-foot products, and I'm not a huge fan of 40-foot and 45-foot home sites, but I understand why they do it, and it makes things affordable, right? So Perry's got some stuff in like Rome and Forney that are, you know, those 40-foot products that are under like that 400 price point, and I think if I can find a builder at that value, at that quality, at that price point, that wins for me in this scenario. So Perry's going to win there. Highland versus Pacesetter. Again, that's the two builders. I sell more of any of those than anything else in like a year. So I sell a ton of Highland, sell a ton of Pacesetter. I honestly, I think I sell a ton with all of these builders based on longevity and notoriety. So they've got a 40-year track record versus like a 7-year track record based on you can tell this one apart when you pull into the neighborhood, and you can clearly see that this is this house. This is it for me, right? Oh, see, I could have used my third coin flip. I didn't want to though. Now we're down to the end, and we've made it this far, and you've stuck in, so I appreciate that, right? Like I need a little bit of a snack, and it's getting hot in this hockey jersey. I don't know how those guys like the Kornacki's of the world do this, but whatever. So Perry, Highland. Last thing I'm going to tell you. Any of these, like I said earlier, with the exception of a couple, you can't go wrong with. If you're curious on where to like start looking, we built this thing for you. So we're going to go here, Schmidt.com. We built a brand new website for you. I hope you like it. I wanted to give you something that was interactive where you could go in and say, hey, I'm looking anywhere in DFW. Here's the areas I'm considering. Here's the cities. If we've done videos on them, we're linking them there. The other thing, the main thing I want to show you is this ability to search just new construction homes, right? So like if you don't want to be on Zillow or Redfin or whatever, and you're trying to edit out all of the resale and you just want to see new, this is set up just for you. You can search by city, you can search by price point, you can search by floor plan. Again, wanted you to just have that there. So we got to name a champion, and I got to do it. And this is probably not a surprise. Like you probably aren't surprised that I'm going to pick this, but this probably gives you an insight into my brain. Like the customer service, like you can't beat it. You seriously, you cannot beat Highland on the customer service, on the value, on the everything, on the process. Like it's one of my favorites. Have we had a couple hiccups here recently? Maybe, yeah. Minor things, but you can't beat them. You can't. They build a good home. I think they're continuing to expand price points, from 300 to $1 million. And every time, whether it's have somebody buy like a $350,000 house or they buy $1 million house, they get great customer service. They get top notch. Like that's the win. And this was a whole lot harder than I thought it was going to be. So I'm glad y'all stuck around for this because I had fun doing this. I hope you had fun. If you're curious on what to do next thing is you call us and you ask for help, and we help get you into a home here in DFW. If you're relocating, we'll teach you how to be hockey fans, because God forbid you're a Mavs fan right now, because you don't want to do that and you don't want the misery of being a Cowboys fan. So we'll teach you how to be hockey fans. We'll help you buy a house. It'll be a good experience. If you have questions or you're like, you disagree, I would love to hear about it. Let me know down in the comments below. We will see you guys in the next video. Bye.